Sandy says read. Welcome back to the channel, you guys. Tonight, it's going to get a little deep, all right? Tonight we are going to review and discuss Dangerous Personalities by Joe Navarro. This one is nonfiction, and that's kind of a shame. But this is nonfiction. Let's see. I took notes, all right? It's 240 pages. The resources, notes, bibliography, index, that stuff is pages 212 to 240. And that's really good because the resources section gives good resources. There are like abuse hotlines, domestic violence hotlines, websites, places you can get immediate help if you need help. And those are for United States, Canada, all around the world. I mean, it's good. Let's see. The book starts with a quote, one of Joe's own quotes, and it says, "There are two kinds of people in this world, those who fill your cup and those who drain it." And when I first started reading, I thought, oh crap, I really hope that's not true. I didn't want to come away from this book thinking, darn, there's only two kinds of people in the world, and so I have to assess everyone as either someone who's going to be useful to me or someone who's going to be bad for me. I don't want to see the people that way. I don't want to go through life viewing people as horrible or good. I don't want to assess people in that manner. But let me tell you, based on my experience, and I'm going to share with you some of my experience here tonight, based on my experience and based on what I've gotten out of the book. If you're in a situation and your spidey senses are tingling, that's when, yes, it is totally appropriate to assess the individual you're looking at. If that individual is rubbing you the wrong way, if something is off, something's off, if your spidey senses are going, time to apply some of the steps, some of the guidance listed in here. So let's talk about what's in here. Okay. Joe Navarro lists for us 4 dangerous personality types. And I know that right now, in today's day and age, it's almost commonplace to call someone a narcissist. That has become sort of the catchphrase for personality types. Oh, that person's a narcissist. Joe gives us a good definition of narcissism and what a dangerous personality is, what a dangerous narcissist really is. So there's a chapter on that personality. There's a chapter on the emotionally unstable personality, one on the paranoid personality, and one on the predator. And we will spend some time talking about the predator. In each chapter on these personalities, he gives sort of a description of that personality type. He gives stories and examples from his work life. He's a retired FBI special agent, so he has seen these things in action, and he kind of gives some examples and stories and talks you through real stuff. It's heartbreaking, but it's truth. He also gives these word banks of words that he has written down over the years. Victims of narcissistic personality types, victims of predatory personality types have described their victimizers. They have described their abusers, and they've used certain words over the years. And Joe Navarro has made lists of those words, and he has compiled those lists into these chapters for us. I want to urge caution in reading through those lists of words and then going out and looking at people and applying those words to people. It just as I would urge caution with all of this book, read it carefully, read it thoughtfully. Don't skim through and then decide, oh my gosh, person A is a narcissist, person B is a paranoid personality. There's more to it than that. The whole reason that I picked up this book is because the panelists at the behavior panel here on YouTube, one of them, and I don't remember which one, I think it was Chase, one of them recommended this book for further research. And I wanted further research. I'm going to use things I've learned from here in character development in a couple of my upcoming novels. Where was I going with that? Oh, yes. If you're going to, read through this, do it deeply. Read it deeply. Don't skim. because I think it would be very easy to take away bits and pieces from these chapters and apply them erroneously. I think it would be very easy to suddenly see narcissists all around, or to suddenly see, emotionally unstable people all around. I think that reading this book too quickly, reading it without careful contemplation, might put a person in like a paranoid state. I think that it could cause more harm than good. And I want to encourage good from this book. I would like to encourage people to read this book and get the good from it, because there are good warnings in here. And let's look at one of those warnings now. In the chapter on the predator, I I wanted to discuss that a little bit because I lived with a predator for a while. Um, I'm just gonna open up and discuss that here on the channel, which is I don't know. I'm just gonna share. Okay, I lived with an individual. I'm not gonna say his name. I refer to him as Crazy Pants when I do talk to my friends about him. Um, while I lived with him, there toward the end, when I realized things were getting dangerous and I needed to get out of the situation, I started doing things to protect myself and to protect things that I valued. And I didn't realize that I was living with a predator. I didn't know that term at the time. I didn't have this book. But I started doing things that I now have read in this book. On page 143, Joe writes, they'll exhaust you because you must always be on guard, hiding what you treasure, trying not to antagonize, or struggling to survive. And this is absolutely true. When I got to a certain point where I took a U.S. Postal Service box and I filled it with things that were very important to me, a couple of heirlooms from my family, and I shipped it to my parents back in Missouri. I'm like, can you hang on to this for me for a few months, please? Because I was in that point where Crazy Pants, he was destroying things, and I feared he would just start destroying and throwing away things that I really truly cared about, and I wanted those things safe. Where is this? Oh, suddenly you'll find yourself in trouble with the law because they asked you to do a favor, lie for them, or get involved in a criminal act. I didn't have to get involved in a criminal act, but I did receive a phone call from the police as I was on my way home one evening. I was on my way home from the doctor's office. That's what it was. I was on my way home from the doctor's office, and sheriff department called me. Where are you? I'm like, I'm on my way home. Crazy Pants had called the police to ask them to contact me because I wasn't at home and he didn't know where I was. Well, he knew where I was. I told him I was going to the doctor. Be that as it may, that was the beginning of the end, actually, because they Baker acted him right there, and I got a restraining order at that point. So there are ways out. This is my moment to tell you all, this is your way out. If you read this book and get the warning signs, let me encourage you. You can get out. Whether you are a man or a woman living with a predator, dating a predator, finding yourself in the clutches of a predator, you can get out. I encourage you to get out. If you're watching this video and some of this is ringing true for you, for the love of God, turn this video off and get out. Go to a friend's house. Go to a parent's house. Go. Turn this off and go. You're done. Go. When you get to wherever you're going, then you can get back online and find hotlines and websites and places to help you. Turn this off and go. Let's see. Another item the predator is good at, on page 141, if they engage in any kind of self-evaluation, it's to perfect their methods of predation. If you're seeing this in the person you're with, I'm going to make a statement now that should send off all the red flags. When Crazy Pants and I lived together, he would reread his court transcripts from lawsuits he'd been involved in. So if you're seeing the person that you're living with rereading court transcripts, my God, that is a sign. If you're seeing the individual that you live with or that you're involved with going over stuff to see how he or she could have manipulated someone better or could have gotten away with something better, could have fooled the police better, anything like that, for the love of God, turn this video off and get out. Go. Leave. Go somewhere where you can go online and check out a website for more information, or where you can read this book online. Go. What else did I want to talk about in this book? The different chapters also include checklists. There are checklists that have like 150, 160 statements that you can check as true or not for the individual that you are assessing. Like if you have run into someone who got those spidey senses tingling, you can, check off whether or not this person really does fit the narcissistic bill, or whether this person really is a paranoid personality. The predator checklist, crazy pants, solid 90 of the 150. Probably could have fit 96 of them, but I didn't feel comfortable blaspheming. I didn't feel comfortable assigning those others to him. Well, for example, there was one that, let's see, it says here, has been rejected for employment or by the military because of failure to pass psychological tests. I didn't feel comfortable checkmarking that one because Crazy Pants was not rejected by the military. He was rejected by sheriff's departments more than once when applying for jobs there. More than one sheriff's department in more than one county, rejected every time, which is a sign. I know, I should have seen the signs. But I didn't check that one off because it wasn't the military and I didn't feel that was right. So a solid 90. But when you go through these lists, you can then tally up how many check marks, and there's a scoring system. So when you see someone and you think, oh, is that person, the spidey senses are going off, but I don't know if that person's really a narcissist, or I don't know if that person's really an emotionally unstable person. Well, go through the checklist. And if you come up with, 15 to 20 points for the emotionally unstable person, well, no, they're probably not emotionally unstable. They're probably not going to do something dangerous to you. You're probably okay. But on scoring, count how many statements apply. Then if you find, this is for the predator, if you find that this individual has at least 25 of these features, this is a person who will occasionally take an emotional toll on others, and so on, right? Then there's, if the score is 26 to 75, there's, this indicates that the individual has all the features of and behaves as a predator, blah, blah, blah. Ideas for what you should do. Warning, if the score is greater than 75, this person has a preponderance of the major features of a predator and is an emotional, psychological, financial, or physical danger to you and others. All of the above. Immediate action should be taken to distance yourself from this individual. And that's where the restraining order came in, and I got away. And now I'm a freaking queen. I just want to encourage you. This book, excellent resource for, reference if you're writing novels. Also, God, it was an excellent resource to just evaluate the entities that come into our lives. Excellent. Again, I'm offering that caution that you read it deeply. You look at it deeply, because people are complex. Just because someone has a couple of tendencies that might be narcissistic. I mean, look at me. I'm doing a YouTube channel. Narcissism much? But I don't think I'm a narcissist, right? Well, I checked. I went through the checklist and I really thought about the different statements, and I'm not a narcissist, thank God. I thought I was a paranoid personality, but some of the statements, some of the words in the word bank that, get attributed to the paranoid personality, They were actually words that the predator assigned to me, but I wouldn't assign them to me because I'm a freaking queen now. But I recommend this as a book that you read deeply and that you take some time with. Take some time, read it. And if you see too many of those traits in a person who is in your life, get out, run, leave, go. In the book I wrote, She's Not Broken. Gee. In the book I wrote, and it won a freaking award, by the way. In that book, I have in the back, there's a group called, let me see, Meg's House, megshouse.org. They have connections to domestic abuse homes where women can go and take their pets with them. I know there are women and men out there who won't leave an abusive situation because they have a pet or they have a child, but any shelter will take you and your kid, but not all shelters will also take your pet. But that megshouse.org, you can look them up and they will get you in touch with a shelter that will also take your pet. That was a point of concern for me. And I have recorded evidence of, I've got evidence. I keep evidence. So there we go. That's enough for today. I do believe we've covered a lot. That was getting a little emotional. I don't want to go any further. I just want to say that if you have a predator or an emotionally unstable person in your life, if you've got someone in your life who's giving you crap, you don't have to take it. You're better than that. You don't have to take it. You can be a man, woman, whatever you are. You don't have to take crap. Don't take crap. Get yourself safe, okay? And Joe Navarro's book gives you some good tips to recognize what's going on, and then gives you some resources to help you. Subscribe to the channel, you guys, because I don't always talk about deep, heavy, weird stuff. Click the bell icon so that you'll be notified the next time I update this channel, because it's become quite random. And I will bring you something more cheerful, I promise, next time, okay? Thanks so much. Guys, be safe out there, okay? And leave comments in the comment field below if you've got something you need to talk about, but do it from a safe place.